Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to install the latest version of Kali Linux, currently version 2026.1 on your Windows PC using VirtualBox. Now the first thing you're going to do is download and install VirtualBox. So head to your browser and then search for VirtualBox. Now click on the link to virtualbox.org and then click on download. Now here we can see VirtualBox for Windows, Mac OS and Linux. So let's download VirtualBox for Windows. Next, we're also going to download Kali Linux installer file. So let's head to kali.org. And then click on the download button. Now there are two ways you can install Kali Linux on VirtualBox. You can either use virtual machines, which is basically installing the pre-built Kali Linux. Now this is recommended if you want to get everything up immediately and you don't want to set up manually. And then there is the installer method, which basically installs from scratch, and then you can set everything exactly how you want it. I'm going to cover both methods, but we're going to first start with virtual machines. So click on virtual machines to get a pre-built image, and then we're going to select image for VirtualBox right here. So click on it and it should start downloading. I already have this file, so I'm just going to cancel the download. Now after downloading VirtualBox and Kali Linux Prebuilt virtual machine image, we can close our browser and then open our download folder. So here we go. This is VirtualBox and this is Kali Linux Prebuilt image. So let's first install VirtualBox by double clicking on it. Next, agree to the terms. Next, and install. After installing, we can click on finish and it should start VirtualBox. Now after installing VirtualBox, we can just minimize it, head back to our download folder and extract our Kali Linux pre-built image. So right click and then extract all. And it is extracted. Now let's open the extracted folder, and here we can see Kali Linux virtual disk image and the starter file as well. This file is around 3 kilobytes. So let's double click on the starter file in order to add the virtual disk image. So double click and it should add Kali Linux right here. Now we can go to machines, and you can see Kali Linux 2026.1 VirtualBox AMD64. Now we can go to settings. From here, you can go to system and increase the base memory, which is your RAM. Now you can set to whatever you want, but I would recommend you set at most 40%. You shouldn't give more than 40% of your RAM to your virtual machine, else it is going to slow down your host computer. Now I have 16 gigs on this PC, so around 4.5 gigs should be fine. For the processor, here you can set how many cores you want to allocate as well. You shouldn't give more than 40% as well. So I can give it maybe 2 cores. That should run decent. We can click on OK and then start. Now you can log in. The default username and password is Kali, K-A-L-I. And that's all. This is basically how to install the pre-built version of Kali Linux. Now it doesn't take much time, as this is a pre-built image, so you can get Kali Linux up almost immediately. From here you can access all Kali Linux tools and do whatever you want. Now I'm going to show you the second method of installing Kali Linux using the installer image. So we can close this. Power off the machine. Okay. Here, instead of clicking on the pre-built VMs, we're going to click on the installer. And under installer images, we can see Kali Linux 2026.1 x86 64-bit, which is for Windows, and then there is the Apple Silicon image as well. So we are installing for 64 bits, and then click on the recommended installer and it should start downloading. I also have this file downloaded, so I'm just going to cancel it. It's around 4 gigabytes. Now we can close our browser and then open our download folder again. And here is our Kali Linux installer image. Now let's open VirtualBox. and then we're going to create a new virtual machine. So click on new, and for the virtual machine name, we can call this Kali Linux 2026.1. We can leave the ISO image empty. We're going to fill that later. Set the OS to Linux and set the distribution to Debian, and make sure the OS version is set to Debian 64-bit. Now we're going to specify virtual hardware. So from here you can set the RAM, which is the base memory. I'm going to give it around 4 GB of RAM, and number of CPUs as well. We're going to give it 2 cores as well, and then we specify virtual hard disk. So one of the benefits of using the installer is you can set how much storage you want to give. The Prebuilt image forces you to use 80 gig, but here we can set whatever we want, and I'm going to give it about 35 gigabytes, and then we click on finish. Now we can go to settings and modify the settings again if we need to. Base memory, processor. Now go to display settings and set the video memory to 128 megabytes. Next, go to storage, and then under controller IDE you can see empty disk right here. Click on the empty disk, select this disk icon, and then choose a disk file. Here we're going to locate our download folder and select the installer image around 4 gigabytes right here. Open. Okay. Now we can begin the installation by clicking on start. Here we're going to go with graphical install, so hit enter. Next, we're going to select a language for the installation and continue. Set your country and region, continue. Set your keyboard layout, continue. Here we can set a host name. We're just going to leave it as Kali, continue. Domain name, leave it empty and continue. Full name for this user, continue. Username as well, and enter a password and continue. Now select your time zone and continue. Here is where we partition the storage. So we are going with guided use entire disk, which is the disk we allocated, and then here is it around 38 gigabytes. Continue. All files in one partition. Continue with that. Finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Continue. Now select yes to grant permission to write changes to disk. Here is where we select the desktop environment we want to use. Now you can use GNOME, KDE Plasma, or XFCE, which is what I'm going to use in this case. So let's just continue. This is going to take about 3 to 15 minutes. It all depends on your hardware allocation, so just wait. Now we're going to continue to install Grow Bootloader, and then select Dev SDA and continue. And that's all basically. Now you can enter your username and password, and that's all. So basically, this is how to install the latest version of Kali Linux on your Windows PC using VirtualBox. If this video was helpful, please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.